The franchise Shane Douglas, and you watching Pounding the Meat.
What up?
Oh, no, what's going on? No, I'm like Applebee's, bro. I'm feeling good in the neighborhood.
Well, let me get this out because before anybody asks anything, I guess I got myself in trouble last week. I ain't even talked to you guys about this yet, but apparently I'm being pulled in a meeting after the show so we can discuss what Vincent's future is going to be with us.
Oh, it's because of that letter.
So that's what happened. So that's just to update you, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
I'm just the janitor.
So
you know what? I had that little sheet I had on last week.
Mm-hmm.
Roderick Strong was on that paper. Do you know what happened to him?
He had to go.
Boom.
Don't worry, AJ Styles time will come.
I don't know, man. They said AJ's ankle's not healing as well. He's been not at the performance center rehabbing like how a lot of the wrestlers do.
I did look into AJ's injury because I didn't know a lot about it. So this is going to take you guys back in a reference. Years ago, the 49ers had a running back named Garrison Hurst.
Oh, shit.
Had a horrific ankle injury. Had surgery, everything was looking good, then all of a sudden, it went sideways. His bones started dying. They had to go in and punch holes, and AJ had a pretty gnarly ankle injury, and they're saying the surgery might not have been as good as it could have been.
It's funny you bring up Garrison Hurst because you got the NFL draft on tonight, which is weird for me seeing it on Thursdays because I remember when it used to be on Saturdays at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and then you have like a 7-hour first round.
Yeah. Well, see, but Cleveland always picks so early in the draft. You can just first 15 minutes and I'm out. I'm like, good for the day.
No, because then you got to wait for the second round. And
well, they only do one round. Well, they only do the one round now.
One round, yeah, and then second and third Friday, and then
the
4 to 7.
The free for all Saturday.
You never know. You might get yourself a Mr. Irrelevant quarterback.
Who's out for the whole year?
Nah, he'd be fine.
Yo.
He's already thrown.
I don't know, man. He's saying with that injury.
He's saying he doesn't think he's going to be playing this season.
He's already thrown.
Okay.
They wouldn't be fielding offers for Trey Lance if they weren't optimistic. You could be worse, though. You could have been the Jets and gave up way too much for Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers to play this season and then retire. Jets aren't sniffing the playoffs.
Okay. No surprise there.
They can make the wild card. They got
the first pick's in already.
Quarterback.
CJ Stroud.
Bryce Young. Go Panthers. I hope you know what you're doing.
That means Stroud's going to go too.
Nope. No.
You don't think?
He's falling out of the top 10 if he ain't
Texans are taking a... D'Amico Ryans doesn't believe in quarterbacks go early. He's trying to find his Mr. Irrelevant.
But D'Amico has the second and 12th pick today.
Yeah.
So
he's going to take a defensive player, number 2.
He ain't getting no Bosa.
There's some gyms out there. He might get something. But anyway, we're wrestling guys. All right.
Right.
Nerding out in our other hobbies.
Sidetracks.
Yeah.
So.
Hold on, I got to put this comment up. Because I'm a Niner fan and we beat the brakes off Aaron Rodgers every year. And we've literally almost retired him several times. That's just nothing crazy. But anyways, kids, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Thursday night. I got home in time to have a nap. So I'm feeling good.
Nappy nap.
Bro, old man gets a nap, he's happy.
Then you won't be able to sleep at night.
No, I gotta sleep like dog shit anyways.
I'll address this. The body shop hurt around the world through again.
You know, when Tank landed that left hook to the body, that short left hook, it didn't even look like it landed hard, but it's just a spot. That
Dude,
liver,
it's slow-mo.
It's the best. It's the Boss Rutan from MMA Special. He would do like liver kicks like crazy because you're backing up. And there was a UFC title fight last year between Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France. And Brandon Moreno kicked Kai Kara France right in the liver. But when he kicked him, it looked like only his toes caught the liver, like the end of his toes, and not the full foot. And like you see Kai Kara France like 2 seconds later just crumble. Just takes the wind out of you.
Although, for the sake of it being funny, I don't know if do the Chiefs have a first round pick this year?
31? Something like that?
Really like to see Jackson Mahomes go out there and call the pick.
Wow.
They are in Kansas City.
You know he can do a TikTok, the whole bit.
I can't wait till they ban.
We take.
I can't wait till they ban TikTok for good.
Bro, why you gotta be so hurt? Why are
It
you so
just
hurtful?
needs to happen.
Why?
Just needs to happen.
We're not banning TikTok. So, yeah.
Anyways, let's focus. Let's focus.
What's number one on the agenda today?
Joey?
Why you look at me? I mean, damn. Okay, how about this? How about we start with the elephant in the room? We talk about the brand new WWE title.
Is that really like an elephant? More like a mishap?
It's not as bad, you know.
It's not. It's okay. New WWE title. We're going to look at some pictures and we'll watch a quick video of it first, and then we'll comment. Okay? That cool?
Let's roll.
Go ahead. One picture. Ooh.
And how about that?
So hold on. So this video is the ring used one, correct?
Yeah.
Notice the difference already. There's no gems in the eyes to the lion. So the lion doesn't look like it's taking a finger in the butt. Go back to your pictures of the first two pictures. Can you zoom in at all?
Well, you see the gem right there in his eyes.
But I want you to zoom into the line. I'm going to send you a picture.
I see it. Are you talking about right in this area?
Hold on. I'm just going to send you the picture because it's just easier. And you can see it.
Because the line on the bottom has gems in his eyes.
Yeah.
Sorry, but the line on the bottom looks like Rafiki.
What?
It does a little bit, don't it? See, I barely see the eagle at the top.
The eagle's damn near hidden.
I sent it to you on Messenger. So yeah, the eagle's hidden, but those lions are two different lions. I'm telling you.
See, when Triple H unveiled that belt, I was like, okay, you know, but like, I don't mind it now looking at it like more. I wish they would have put the WWE logo at the top where the eagle is. You know, and would have colored in like world champion, put the globe in the middle. You know,
There was so much.
would've-
There's so much more potential than what they gave us.
like,
And I know you get those guys then in the behind. Oh, he's just a fucking mark or ball. You know, it's continue to make your fake Reggies and hawk your fake Reggies. I don't care.
This is what you're talking about?
That's look at that. That line looks like he caught a finger in the butt.
oh, we're gonna get to that segment later. Hold on for that
Wow.
segment. It's gonna be the last segment of the show.
Now go back to your video. A finger in the butt? There's no gems in those eyes.
I don't know. It kind of does look like there is on the. Can you pause the video like when you first show it?
I don't think I can control that on here.
Who remembers? Who remembers? Remember when the Big Eagle debuted? Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. You know, you see like the block oval IC that replaced the classic IC.
Was it March 30th, 1998?
March 30th or March 31st.
It was 30th, 1998.
But like when
I'll be right back. Looks like they're calling me now, so I'll be right
hell?
back.
But like when they replaced it, you know, there was like no announcement or nothing. You know, it was like, what the hell is going on? But like when you see, you know, as a kid, you're like, why are you gonna replace the winged eagle?
I didn't get it. I didn't get it that much. I wasn't as much of a belt nerd as I am now. But I like loved the belts. But I was like, oh, that's a fucking cool belt. Like, because I was just hyped for it. And then like when the Stone Cold belt came out, I was like, oh, that's fucking sick. So I was hyped for him because they had more meaning. All right, so Stone Cold wins the belt, and they're like, oh, we're giving this guy a new belt. And then Stone Cold's such a badass, he gets his own belt. And so that's kind of how I looked at it back then. I didn't really. Now I'm like, now that I know the history and lineage, and
Like the Big Eagle grew on me like quick, but then when it got replaced by the Undisputed, like when Ric Flair was holding that Undisputed, I was like, oh, come on, what the hell is this belt? Like, you can't just replace the Big Eagle. But then the Undisputed like grew on me, and I'm like, but that's the last great
what year
world
did the
title.
Undisputed drop?
2002.
Yeah, that was like a tail end of me watching wrestling.
What did I miss?
Just talking about the
I'm
belt.
just reminiscing, man. Just reminiscing.
But now, like with people buying the belt, like if you're gonna buy the belt and you like it, like go ahead. And like if you're like Jones's favorite wrestler is AJ Styles, if he doesn't get cut and come back and wins the belt, then Jones buying it makes sense. Even for Lashley, because Jones is a big fan of Lashley, it makes sense for Jones to buy it. But I feel like people are just gonna buy it to have that flex. Like they're gonna say because, oh, look at me, I got it. I'm one of the first people. Like they'll buy it just to say they have it.
But the same people are going to take some pictures with it, and they're going to flip it in the hobby. So it's like, if WWE just gives it to somebody random, I think it's going to have a way worse effect on it too. It needs to go to somebody that's like, I don't know, worth a damn.
The rumor is it's going to be Seth. It's going to be the first one to hold it.
Seth, Cody, somebody like that. But if you give
Cody
it to fucking,
absolutely cannot hold this belt right now. If maybe down the line, but he has to beat Roman because he just stole my next comment. But
I mean,
it's a second place trophy.
It basically is. It's like, yo, you can't beat Roman, so here's a title. Like, I feel like the title's not going to mean nothing because Roman's title's are like right here, but this title is like right down here.
So is this the WWE version of the UFC's interim title?
But here's the issue with the interim title, because you get to face the world champion to unify the titles.
That ain't happening. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane. It's basically a participation trophy.
But with Rollins winning, it makes sense. Because who's the only guy that Roman hasn't pinned during this run? Rollins. So Rollins can hold it, talk shit to Roman like, yo, like he did on Monday. He's like, yo, you never beat me. And it could start the feud going into WrestleMania 40 next year.
But here's the same token. Roman can say, you never beat me either.
True.
Or you didn't beat me when it counted because I'm still holding 2 belts.
Yeah. I mean,
Personally, I like the belt. I would buy it if, like you said, one of those people got it. But if the rumors are true that it's limited edition, it could be a situation where...
See, I think that makes it even worse if they make it limited edition.
But they could be going the AEW route because they don't normally do pre-orders.
Which is weird when you know they're sitting on belts too.
Mm-hmm. Now, if they make it like a limited amount of orders, does that mean once it's out, or you're gonna have to wait till they put it back up?
Yeah, is this like the Snoop Dogg belt, or is this like fucking first run AEW world title?
If they're smart, it should be first run AEW title, but don't release more until like, if these come out in October, no more should be available until maybe Mania next year. Just to make it feel like you did something.
Because it's shipping end of October, 1st of November.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to put it back on the shop by Mania next year.
And if that's the case, I'll just go walk right down to the stadiums and get it my damn self.
I'll try some Philly this year.
Roman's not giving up that Universal title. Roman's going to keep both belts.
I mean, yeah, he would retire the WWE Championship before the Universal because his legacy's under the Universal.
Yeah. But I mean,
damn,
sucks for those Europeans. But there's also rumors of other titles that are dropping too.
I'm interested in a couple of those. I mean, it piqued my eyes. I mean, I know they're not WWF, but
the
Crumb Legends logo.
The Crumb Rhine is the one they need to drop. That's the one they should have done a pre-order on because that's going to guaranteed sell out.
So that Crumb Rhine, I've heard Hogan 85, Hogan 86, 87.
Maybe they could do the Bruno belt with the F blocked off like in the video.
Yep. The big green.
The big green's been being rumored for a while.
When I saw the big green, I'm like, what the hell is WWW? Like, when I'm watching the video. The V2 Winged Eagle, too, as well.
Mm-hmm. The all-gold Winged Eagle will sell out quickly.
Sidebars attached, yeah. Easily.
I've changed my mind on the Winged Eagle. I do want one, but it cannot be human-sized. It has to be oversized.
You got to get that Marabito oversized.
Yeah. Or I could just go up there where Marabito is and take it.
Right?
That's true.
You know he won't be home for a while. Just roll by his crib.
Yeah. I know a perfect opportunity to go get those belts too.
Yeah, because there's a rumor that he'll be in overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
that's
perfect. What up, Juan?
Send me your belts for safekeeping, Marabito. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch that say. He was wrong on one thing though, right?
He's saying Hogan never held that Winged Eagle, but Yoko beat Hogan at King of the Ring when they showed the video.
And he said that the spinner was around longer than the Winged Eagle. Or was that
It
another video I
was.
watched?
The spinner was around longer than the Winged Eagle.
Well, the Winged Eagle was
05
10
to
years.
13. And the spinner was 05 to 13, correct?
05 to 13. Winged Eagle is 10 years.
So 05 to that's 8 years, right? My farting out here.
Yeah, it's 8 years. Man, that dude said freaking Undisputed was 17 pounds.
Dude is a beast, bro.
If
That
Brock
was
held
probably
it,
that.
yeah.
Well, that was probably the original V2 with the logo plate, the logo plate and everything.
Yep. I mean, yep. Boom.
Yep.
King J. Sean with the facts.
I mean,
Doesn't matter. Spinner was better.
such a beautiful belt.
Spinner was better.
Yeah, King J. Sean, man, send me one of your chrome rides.
Right?
I saw somebody today complain about the added weights to the back of the belt. People need to stop adding weights to the back of their belts.
It's their belt. They do what they want.
I think it is a little homerish. To be honest, I'm just going to throw that out there. When they're taking it so seriously, like, I don't know. I don't take it that seriously, I guess. I guess these promo guys probably take it a lot more seriously than I do. But
When
like,
when I see the wheel weights added to the back, they look like dominoes. You know, I'm like,
yeah.
Domino mothers.
I mean,
But we have to wait and see with this championship because we don't know. But if I have to make a prediction, this is going to be the belt on Raw. Because I feel like it was introduced on Raw for a reason. I'm just saying.
No, and I agree, and I think people are going to buy it to flex. I mean, I'll have Classic She'll start working on one for me. I should, just to be a prick. Just be like, "Look, just make this for me."
dude, I already seen like people like hitting up makers. Like, you know, you see some makers.
Bro, 10 millimeter stack CNC, 440, bro. Best quality. And they don't even have lions on there. That's a good thing. I seen somebody's artwork. Didn't even have any lions on there. It was good.
No lions, and you don't know what it's going to really look like.
See, because you haven't seen the belt tip. Everything else, like
Yeah, is there a logo plate? What's the belt tip look like?
I'm sorry, this might be the hardest belt to boot.
Yeah, it's
That'll still
right-
be the US. I think somebody dumb enough will see that thing to make it look pretty close. But you can't do that with the United States.
No.
No.
Because you're talking about a 50-pound block of aluminum that they'll have to mill down so far, and then that belt's gonna be the main plate's gonna be 20 pounds.
I mean, we've had people we know that were like, "Oh, I'm getting 15 millimeter, 15-pound WWE Big Logo Championship Network Logo title. Oh, this is going to be really accurate." They get it. 2 months later, they sell it, and they can't sell it because it looks like shit. Well, we already know one is going to be Seth Rollins. Why do I think the other one, his opponent's going to be Cody, and he's going to beat Cody? Just saying.
The ultimate match for that belt's gonna be TikTok versus Babel. When TikTok
was
goes
wrong.
away,
Joey apologized.
What?
The Texans just took CJ.
told you.
Oh, shit. They were playing fibs. They were
Yeah.
playing. Damn.
I expect him to fall out the top 10, but nonetheless.
I hope not. I hope not.
Which means that makes the Colts fucking pissed off.
They could have done some damage with this.
Yep.
I think they're looking more at Levis.
Will Levis?
Yeah, Levis.
What about Richardson?
Whatever his name is, too. Whatever the jabronis were.
What else? What's the next topic?
Hold on.
Let's see.
I can't recall CS ever making one, but I'm sure they'd fucking knock it out of the park.
They would probably be the only ones I trust doing it.
Hey, you see their Brahma Bull?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
I mean, you could try Orion belts.
That's the BBC for you, bro.
And the next topic at hand. Speaking of acronyms, there was a certain fellow from Chicago.
I'm feeling just spicy. I'm feeling punkish.
Yeah, there was a certain fellow from Chicago.
Yeah.
That tried. Well, he didn't try. He got backstage. He made his way into the locker room for Monday afternoon Raw.
Well, let's preface this. He was invited, correct? It's not like he stinged from the rafters to go talk to somebody. He was invited.
He was on the same flight.
And then a guy with the worst beard in the history of beards or mustaches got upset. You know,
Well, no. How it happened is he spoke with Triple H. And he asked could he be backstage. Triple H said, "Let me make a phone call." So he called Vince. Vince, being Vince, said, "Get him out of here. You're fired." And I only think it was done because technically it could be looked at as tampering. Because he's still technically under contract.
And you know how AEW does with that,
Yeah,
with that tampering stuff.
They so quick to throw that out there.
Still got a few more years left on his contract.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Lucky Charms?
still waiting for that big gold to show up. Hey, babe, did it come today? Nope, no belt today.
Dude,
Thanks,
you're
Tony.
getting a big gold?
Yeah, he sent me one for free.
Dude, nice.
Yeah, I was surprised.
That's amazing.
I hear a kitty. Has somebody got a kitty?
Yeah, I got a cat. He's just meowing like a...
The cat wants to talk wrestling too.
Basically. But like with Punk, like he was in Florida, Tampa, covering the MMA event, commentating. But he was also meeting Jericho to mend the fences. You know, like talk out their differences. And I guess they had a civil conversation, no yelling. We'll see if that changes when Punk returns to AEW. But, you know, like Punk, when he's on the flight back, you see wrestlers that are, you know, like in WWE on the same flight. So, Punk's talking to them. And it seemed like from the reports I read, like Punk, it looked like Punk was trying to mend fences. Like, yo, listen, what I did in the past.
And that's what I picked up on. Was I feel like it was more of an instance of much to do about nothing, and then like obviously the wrestling nation's gonna make it into something more than it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like
I agree. Like supposedly he cleared the air with the Miz, since they always have Twitter wars. Even cleared the air with Triple H a little bit.
Like people think like that the Miz thing was like when Punk was in WWE, but it was basically after Punk left, they would get into Twitter wars, go after each other. So they spoke. They said they spoke for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe.
I'm a pre-Miz fan. I'm the real world Miz fan. I've always liked Miz. Think it's cool what he was able to turn himself into. So I mean, good on Punk to try to like be a grown up, or you know, maybe it's an indirect way Punk's trying to show his bosses that hey, I could turn over a new leaf. See?
Yeah, I think he's trying to make it men's. Okay, so Justin, Vince McMahon does the same thing Tony Khan does. Tells them what to say. Like you hear stories of Vince just screaming at Michael Cole on commentary. You son of a bitch, say this, you can't say that. I think Punk is talking about buying a new scooter that works.
I think.
Damn.
I was just gonna say. I think Babel's most responsible for getting TikTok banned. Get a little, like I said, feel a little frosty, feel a little froggy. You know, it's Thursday. Parents are away. You know, you say what you want a little bit. You know, not getting too much trouble.
It depends what Jones is meeting afterwards. We're all going to get kicked off.
Wow.
Hey, as long as we haven't been like Tony and been kicked off midstream, we're winning, bro.
I can't argue with that.
As long as we don't lose the stream or get kicked out of it, you can't get back in.
I've never, to this day, and I know you guys have no idea what we're talking about, but one of our friends, Tony Myers, he's got a podcast. Check it out on YouTube, Nerdcast. Before that, he was in a podcast with another group of gentlemen, and he was the leader of the group. And midstream, I'll never forget this. He was removed from admin of the podcast and removed from the page and kicked off the channel midstream.
Weren't we in like a video chat when he found out?
Yeah. So guys, I think my computer was hacked. We're digressing too much.
I'm about to go off topic because the Texans just pulled off the heist of the century.
Who'd they go?
Remember they drafted CJ Stroud, right?
They traded him to the Titans.
No, they just moved up to.
They just moved up to the third pick.
So they're getting the second and the third pick. And Arizona moves back.
And they drafted Will Anderson.
Wow.
That's who
So you got your quarterback, and you got who you wanted originally.
But would they have to give up the 12th? I know.
So that was all they can give up in the first. So it's going to probably be a first next year.
12th, the 33rd, a first next year, and a third next year.
Whew. My mind might be a little foggy right now. It's Thursday, but it was pretty close to midstream.
Let me try to get us back on topic.
Yeah, we gotta get on the rails today because we've been pretty good. Dad's been away for a while, and we've been good. But once in a while, it's good to have fun.
Wait till our last topic. It's gonna be unfiltered.
Oh,
Well, we're about to be since we're talking about Vince kicking Punk out, we might as well talk about Punk. Talk about Vince.
Oh shit!
Stop fighting over the comment.
hey Moose, I'm right with you, bro.
Come along.
Yeah, come on.
This is so Vince is in trouble again.
Hold on, come on, Moose. Jones is already getting fired after this, so
Might as well. So, Vince is in trouble again.
Moose has his own 2 kids to look after.
Now, is this a pile-on? So I seen the headlines. I didn't really dive too much into it. Is this more just a pile-on of continuations of Vince hating?
Well, it's more so his writing staff.
But here's the thing:
about a 9/11 skit.
But why wouldn't the writers come out then, and why now?
Well, it's not the writers; it's the staff that's reporting it. The wrestlers are reporting it.
But even why wouldn't you come out then? Why now?
Or maybe they tried to before and go sit in the corner.
But I don't think nothing's gonna happen out of this.
Nah, because this is just fodder.
But some of the stuff that coming out is just ugly.
But again,
Like-
I preface this because I say this about every billionaire, right? What billionaire is ethical, is not a piece of shit, and treats people like humans? I'll wait.
Okay.
I know one.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on him, but yeah, that's one. But you wanted to do an angle where you have a Caucasian male hunting a black male
I've seen this movie.
and talking about putting him in chains and cages.
Oh, I got one.
Well, let's work on the context here.
There's no way you can flip. There's no way you can flip this one. None.
Have you seen American History X?
That's
Just
different.
saying.
It's a whole different kind of level.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and that's the thing. Is just like, but again, I think at the end of the day, Vince is when you have that much money, this stuff is just like fuck you.
But
It's
it's more so the company is being sued, so it's really not necessarily he did this. It was one particular writer that kept pitching all this bullshit.
But the one that got me that I was like, "Ho!" was when JBL and Eddie Guerrero were in the feud, and JBL like pretends like he's going to the border, and he's like kicking Mexicans back to Mexico. I think it was the segment, if I'm not mistaken. That's where I was like, "Whoa!" Like he's in the water. Like it's just,
I can I speak on this since I am Mexican, and I'm going to be very okay. I find it funny. I'm one of those people, like, I have a self-deprecating sense of humor. I laugh at shit that I shouldn't laugh at. And that's just funny to me, dude. Like, I'll watch like those little shows like the 600-pound life or whatever, and I'll watch these shows, and when they go to the gym and they start crying, bro, I laugh. Like, what do you expect to happen? Like, it's just funny to me.
I agree with you to a point because I used to love the MTV My True Life.
Oh, I love that.
Like, and they had like the big people on there. Like this one kid, like he'd go to McDonald's. He's like, "Oh, I gotta love the McFlurry," but then like he lost all this weight and became a cop. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Like, I was watching a TikTok. They had this 600-pound life or something like that, and the doctor was like talking to this dude, and they were like trying to get him on the back of a golf cart, and they're driving up a hill, and he falls off the back of the golf cart. Bro, I died out laughing.
Dude, see, like I get it was a work, but like, yo, like it's just like, what the hell, you know? Like, I mean, you look at like what others? I mean, even the Muhammad Hassan thing, like, I mean, it got him. It killed his character with the Undertaker and the Masked Men right after the London bombings, the subway.
They had time. SmackDown was taped, so they had time to cut it out.
They did. Like, I watched his interview with Chris Van Vliet. It's funny because when you see Muhammad Hassan now, like when I watched that interview, I was like, "Oh shit, Chris interviewed Vinny." Like, I was like
Mark Copani.
Yeah.
Again, I have a different type of personality that's not for everybody.
Speaking of the 9/11, you tried to say Mustafa Ali was not Mansour was behind it. That was his secret. That was one of the storylines they pitched.
Oh my god.
That was going to be his secret. Why?
I'm sorry. Like, it's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Why? In the timeline, saying timelining either. The kid would have been 5 when it happened.
Do you like? But like, even if they did, can you imagine what the response would have to him, like in real life?
Ugh.
I mean, Mae
like
Young gave birth to a hand.
I feel like we need Randall in here for this conversation about 9/11. Like, we'll take Randall's.
I mean, we're not wrong. Like WWE does some goofy and messed up like segments and skits, but like I feel
That's
like this is gonna just
extreme.
get blown under the radar.
Yeah, it probably will. Honestly, probably will.
But I also believe it's this. I think these are pretty much the same people that are. It's kind of like the lawsuit, you know, like with with WWE and in Denver, you know, you see certain people and they're like, oh man, you know, they didn't give nobody else a shot. I think it's like that whole big conspiracy.
But then again, Vince does seem untouchable. It's like every 5 minutes, I did this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just ugly. It's like reading it makes it far uglier, but it's just like I'm glad it didn't see the light of day. Like I know Bianca Belair complained about something they pitched to her 3 consecutive times.
But again, I think it goes back to when you have FU money, you can push the envelope.
Thank you, Panetta. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video.
Thank you,
this
Double D.
He's a good Canadian watching hockey
Really,
right now.
He's probably top 2 Canadians of all times.
Yeah.
I don't know another one that's as good, but there's probably at least one.
It's like Bret Hart and Panetta. It's like 1A, 1B.
It's rough. Like, there would be no Montreal Screwjob over Panetta.
If Panetta was there wouldn't be no Montreal Screwjob. Yeah. Agree.
He'd have jumped the railing.
Yeah.
He'd have pulled the taker. If you don't follow our rules, I'm backstage waiting.
See, they should have brung that up in the Rivals, yo. They should have done that. Speaking of a Canadian, Tony Khan.
Okay, yeah, Tony Khan with his another weekly huge announcement. This one I wasn't upset with. I can actually go on the air and say this because it was kind of funny to me. I was talking with Marabito, like we usually do during Dynamite. It was just, I was like, wait, what was Tony's announcement? I had forgotten he had made the announcement earlier in the show that it was the Owen Hart Cup in Calgary. But I was like, oh, I missed it. I was like, oh, that's right. It was actually a legit announcement. So now I understand. When he has a bad announcement, I pay attention. When it's a good announcement, I forget it. Go ahead. You can destroy it right now. I can see you waiting to destroy it.
Dude, I don't mind Tony Khan, but I'm getting sick of these, like, oh, I got a big announcement. I get Owen Hart.
You get nothing.
But
wow,
you can go backstage. What?
Bro, he's totally used to that by now.
You are not on another channel, boy.
He's totally used to that by now from his other. Hold on, wait. We all gotta make. Hold on. On 3, we all gotta make him feel at welcome. Turn your cameras off. 1, 2, 3.
We don't do that here.
You know, we got you. It's all about being comfortable.
It is. I'm very comfortable. I don't have any pants on.
Just like your co-host when the camera's off.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Wow.
But
It's
what I'm
time
saying
to
is,
meet.
like, I don't mind the Owen Hart tournament. The announce team could have announced it. The commentary team, like Shivani, Luchasaurus, been fine. Tony didn't have to come out and, like, make this thing like it's a big deal. I get it's a tournament, Owen Hart tournament in Calgary. I get it. But, like, just let the announce team announce it. It's not
I feel like the Owen Hart Cup should be like a skydiving event, anyways. Like, I don't know, something a little more, something a little better. You know, let's spice it up a little bit.
Wow.
Little roulette. One of the chutes doesn't actually open.
That's the thing, is who gets the shoe that doesn't open.
What is
We'll give him a backup, but we'll give him a backup shoot, right? So, like, you pull the main shoot and you got a GoPro on your face, right? Imagine the TV, right? You hit that shoot and you're like,
What if you do this? For the start of the Owen Hart tournament, Sting rappels down, looks in the camera, and says, "That's how you do it."
and then you have Shawn Michaels ziplining across the ring. Logan Paul.
I'm definitely getting fired this week.
I mean, I watched Dynamite last night, and I support all wrestling. I love professional wrestling. Wrestling is my religion. But I was like, oh, cool, Tony. He looked very uncomfortable. He looked like that kid. And where is it? Hold on. He's got a new microphone. He's like, I'm Tony Khan. We're doing more wrestling in Canada. Dr. something Hart. Yeah. Can I be done now, Dad? I said what you told me to say.
And his eyes are like always big.
Well, that's the code.
But to be fair, I do think there's some underlying spectrum issues that he has, maybe undiagnosed, and his social interaction isn't always as it should be.
Don't we all have some undiagnosed underlying issues, though? Let's be real.
We're wrestling fans.
We're wrestling fans. We're in the belt community because fuck the hobby. And it's Thursday night, and we're sitting here drinking and talking about wrestling. I think I would say we have a few issues.
That's a true story.
You ever go to an AEW event? Tony Khan comes out before Dynamite, before the show, and just like, we're gonna give you the best show ever.
It's just like, relax, buddy. Relax.
Hey.
It's okay.
I can't fault him for his enthusiasm and wanting to do the right thing, but I definitely agree with this. They definitely just should have been like, hey, Excalibur, you're going to do like a minute and a half and run down an entire card and then realize you're not going to break. Throw this in there. So
I'll give Tony this. Seeing a Dynamite live, it's amazing. Because they keep your ass entertained during the commercials.
yeah, I've been to the last few all-outs, and 5 hours flies by.
I put it to you this way. Most promotions can keep you entertained during the commercial breaks.
Yeah. I mean, most of them aren't going to stop what they're doing like what WWE does and realign and then pick back up. So
I just like Justin Roberts, like asking questions, talking with the crowd, keeping you entertained until it's ready to get back on TV.
But I'm a little disappointed about the announcement because I wanted the finals to happen in London. Only because I wanted David Boy Smith Jr. to be a part of it. So it made sense for him to be there.
And he may still be. He may still make an appearance in Calgary. But I get what you're saying, Wembley. Yeah.
Just so it's like it would have been perfect for his, like he can play homage to his dad in Wembley.
What if the finals was Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Brian Pillman Jr.?
That would be a damn good match.
That'd be a great match. And did you guys see, not to get off topic here, did you see the promo with
When have we been on
Anderson?
topic?
Did you see the promo with Brock Anderson and Brian Pillman Jr.?
Their chemistry has grown on me. Initially, the pairing, I was like,
Brock Anderson's starting to get that Anderson cadence in his promos. Like he's starting to nail it, and he doesn't quite have Arn's body yet. Like
he's got his hair.
He's got the hair, but I really like their pairing. I really like how they're playing off the past, and I think that's a tag team to watch as AEW goes on.
It gives me 95 vibes.
Very much so.
With this. I mean, imagine Griff Garrison right now. Shit!
well, the thing is, that could still play into different ways.
Yeah, if you guys read or saw the interview that Brian did with Sean Ross Sapp, he talks about Griff Garrison, talks about how he's getting ready to get back in the ring, start bumping around again, do what he's got to do. And when asked about how's it going to play with you and Brock and Griff, he goes, well, maybe there's going to be a barbershop window involved. I mean, you never know. So, but I really do like that pairing of Brock and Brian, because I think that there's a lot of potential behind both of them.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to turn Griff. Griff can just join the faction.
He could.
You could just build yourselves an Horseman Light.
See, I wouldn't build them as Horseman Light. I would build a Horseman-like faction around Wardlow.
I would fire Wardlow.
See, but they're trying. I think they're really trying with Wardlow. Like they're trying to give him the guidance and the rub of as many people as possible. And I would throw FTR in there, and then find one other person and have a loose Horseman homage, if you will.
We tried that already with him. Wardlow ain't got it.
Well, that's why you have Arn. Arn talks for Wardlow.
I don't like Wardlow right now.
I think Wardlow's
he's
momentum
right now.
Wardlow's momentum stopped like when he destroyed MJF at the pay-per-view. It's like nothing. Like, I mean, he got the TNT title. Don't get me wrong. Him and Scorpio Sky, good run. But it's like,
yeah, he's had the TNT title 3 times now.
Yeah, but I think they're just trying to rebuild him in general, and not have him just be what he was.
agree with this.
You want to do that? Let him go.
You want him to go to the E, huh?
I just want him to go. I don't even want him in the E. I don't want him in Impact. I don't want him in MLW. I don't want him in New Japan.
How good is MLW right now? How good is MLW right now?
I was at Battle Riot, so it's amazing.
Oh, War Chamber. Oh, The Calling. So good. Ricky Shane Page, Akira. That thing is coming off beautifully. Beautiful. I love it.
I'm gonna steer this in another direction.
I'm not mad. I'm irate. It's a difference.
I'm still focused on what Joey said about this hobby and what's going to be juicy.
Juicy?
Oh, we got one more thing to talk about before we get there.
What do we got? What we got?
There was a tweet and delete by a Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Ooh.
And I have to say, I can't really disagree with what he said. I'm just going to pull it up for you. Let's see.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'd love to see MJF bring the Dynasty to AEW with him. Just his own faction of the Dynasty.
Can y'all see that?
Oh, yeah.
Good there.
I need to blow it up, or is it cute?
I would blow it up just a smidge. There you go.
Well, since we have a guest on, I'll let you do the honors, sir.
Cool. So Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, had the following to say via Twitter before he deleted. The more wrestling fans become bloodthirsty for these dangerous feats in the ring, the more wrestlers will hurt themselves trying to curry fans' favor. Wrestlers, the fans don't understand that at any given point we can be paralyzed from the neck down or even die from a maneuver as simple as a body slam. By the way, fans reading this, body slams hurt, every move hurts. They will keep moving the goalpost of what they deem is quote unquote good. So before you do something stupid, consider this. Their tweet about your quote unquote banger gonna pay for your medical bills? ? Do the right thing. Go in that ring with the intention of winning the match and leaving the ring the same way you entered it. Get the winner's purse and get out. And
ain't lying.
if people aren't aware, that is in reference to what happened during XPW's California, where Masada lit his face on fire, literally, and Drake Younger ended up with a broken back and released a video earlier today of him relearning how to walk. What baffles my mind about that whole situation is Masada was trained by Rudy Boy Gonzalez and Shawn Michaels. He's one of the guys that used to make the 25, 26-hour car rides to work Ring of Honor back in the day. Homeboy can work and wrestle. And Drake Younger, I mean, he's Drake Younger. He's a deathmatch god. I'll never take that away from him, but he's also somebody who can work. And the fact that these two guys permanently injured themselves for some stupidity is beyond me.
I used to watch Drake in CZW when he was during his whole championship run.
Fucking nap down dragons all day.
I was there when he lost the belt to B-Boy. Shout out to B-Boy, one of my favorite wrestlers. A lot of people don't know about. SoCal Forever. But I completely go back to what MJF said. I completely agree with him. I took it like he was talking about that, but in the same breath, I feel like he's talking to his coworkers in AEW.
Oh no, yeah,
I think he's talking to everybody, because if you look at the last few months of wrestling, I mean, you got I forget what promotion did the whole syringe in the fucking penis and
XPW.
Yeah, and it's just like at some point, let's pump the brakes.
So wrestling as a whole is always ratcheting itself up, and you have to do more and more and more and more and more, and at some point you're going to go too far. And I look at people like LD
Viking.
But Vikingo. I tried to say his name and I couldn't.
El Hijo de Vikingo.
Yeah, thank you. Homie can fucking go. Like he is the luchador right now. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, if you saw his match with Kenny Omega where he does the spinning spot out of the ring,
the 630.
Yep, and lands on Kenny, he's literally a foot away from smacking the back of his head on the edge of that apron.
Mm-hmm.
And it's insane to me that, one, he's able to move his body like that, and two, he has that much control of himself to be able to do that. And the third point is, what if he didn't realize where he was? Do you know how bad that could have ended up? And everyone complains, well, they shouldn't be doing rest holds. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be doing that. At what point are we going to stop and say, okay, that's enough? And I'm all for deathmatch. I'm all for getting your athleticism on. Go do you. Go show up and show out. Like do what you know how to do. But
it's
also realize
it's only going to stop. It's only going to stop tragically after somebody dies.
Yeah.
Bingo.
And then they'll pump the brakes and it'll revert back. But it's ego. Ego is a very evil thing.
You see a lot of wrestlers change their wrestling style. I mean, look at Bryan Danielson. After he had that concussion in the neck, he changed his style a little bit. But like, I think MJF was talking about wrestlers in general. Like, yo, you don't have to do all this crazy stuff to get your money. The fans, like, even if you injure yourself, the fans will cheer you. But if you're sitting at home injured, the fans are not going to pay for your medical bills. Fans are not going to pay any of your bills. Like, I think that's like what his logic could be behind that. Like, we put our heart, our blood, sweat, and tears into this squared circle for you guys. Like, just, hey, give us a little respect.
I think the other thing is it showed who it showed who MJF really is. I think he gets this really bad rap about how he's always in character and how he's always just pissing on people. That's what people want from him. and he gives them everything that they want.
You stole my point I was waiting for. Look at the meaningless injury like that both of them get. Right now, I believe it's Dante that's hurt, but Darius is then it was previously Darius, then it was Dante before that, but it was Darius before that. They're like 21 and 22.
Isn't it Dwayne Martin?
No, Dwayne
No, it's
Martin's
Dante
an
and
actor.
Darius.
Oh. I thought it was Dwayne Martin.
Dwayne Martin's an actor.
Dwayne.
Yeah. But that spot where he got injured, taking a Canadian destroyer to a table outside of the ring, was pointless.
It was pointless. It was bad spotting on his and Penta's part. Penta, I don't want to put the blame fully on Penta, but Penta should have realized where they were and said something or done something, because that could have very well been avoided. But like I was saying, I think we saw more of a human side in that tweet to MJF. Yes. And because of how kayfabe he is, he then realized, shit, like I'm showing my heart here, and that's not what people want. That's not what people expect. I better pull this down. So I commend him for doing it, and my respect grows even more for him.
I think Kevin Nash was talking about him on his podcast the other day. He had like a clip talking about Max. You know, like how Max will, play that kayfabe, that character, but there's certain times where, Max will pull back that curtain.
Yeah. He's still a nice Jewish boy from Long Island. Don't believe everything his mom tells you.
Going on the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Saying his little heart out.
Being backstage at NXT getting pushed by Samoa Joe.
Still one of the coolest gifts in the world.
I mean, I think, like when Max is like, he's so passionate about wrestling, you could just tell. And he's so old school about it, doesn't. But he protects that character so well. Like if you're watching the Rivals with Piper and Hogan, how Piper protected his character to a T. Like he didn't want to be pinned at all. But like Max is kind of like a Piper in today's age, but like Max just protects that character. But there's sometimes Max will let you see how passionate he is.
Don't hate to say it. Yes, he's controversial. He's old school. Like, he's been around for a while for a reason. He's been in damn near every promotion. Worked with damn near every wrestler, so he gets it.
Well, look at the match that Dax Harwood and Jeff Jarrett had last night. That was a great match. I sat and watched that entire thing from start to finish. I watched the picture-in-picture. When it went to that, it was wrestling, and it was beautiful, beautiful to see that back on an AEW screen. And I hope that we get more of that. And apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this, they are trying to address the fact that you'll see people on 1 week and then you won't see them for several weeks. Apparently, this is an ongoing thing that is trying to be addressed and fixed within AEW. I haven't seen any update from Fightful as of yet, but once I do, I'll be sure to report it. Bodyslam.net. Support your boy.
But when AEW started, I think Tony said that, like, hey, there's going to be some wrestlers you see on 1 week, but you won't see in a few weeks. But when you do see them, like, say a month later, you're going to be like, oh, I remember him.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be fresh.
He did. But I think the problem is, and this is a problem that a lot of people have, is like, you get the House of Black out there, and everyone and people love the House of Black, and they'll have 2-3 weeks with the Elite, and then it's like they disappear for 6 weeks, and then it's like, okay, what happened? Like you're picking up steam, you're doing the right things, you're telling good stories, and then it's like it falls flat, and then it's like, oh, they came back. Well, are they gonna? Nope. Now they're over here. So I think it's more about the consistency of keeping people on when things are working. Yeah. Also, Roderick Strong, I popped. I'm sorry. The Messiah, the Backbreaker, is back.
It will work if Kyle O'Reilly shows up.
It will.
Well, he's just injured, so.
Imagine Bobby Fish's face right now.
Bobby Fish is like, damn it. Damn it,
like,
damn it, damn it.
But like same with like the TNT title, you'll see it one week and then you won't see it for like a month later.
Yeah.
But with the Dax and Jarrett match, you see that classic wrestling style. You know, the old school wrestling, you're like, yo, that's the wrestling we grew up with, yes. But then you see all the high-flying stuff today that, you know, the Young Bucks do, that Ray Phoenix does, and all of them. I think it's just a new style. Like, wrestling evolves. Some people don't like anything that's new. A lot of the old school fans are like, man, I don't like this, you know. But it's just the way the times are going. But you still get that old school style wrestling.
Unless you're a booker or in a business, it doesn't matter.
So I'll say this, to Joey's point. Think about back in the 80s when wrestling hit its boom period.
Is this where I act like somebody else and be like, nobody fucking cares about the 80s? It's dead.
No, you'd be obsessed with the 80s and wanting to talk more about it. Anyways, in the 80s, when the boom period happened and you had people like the Rock and Roll Express and Magnum TA and all these big time people starting to come up and blow up, there were people who were like, they're going too fast. They need to slow down. So that means that wrestling is secular and it goes like this. And there are times when things speed up and a new, like Joey said, a new style takes over. But yet there's still the people who are down here who want that nice, slow, methodical build before the spin starts to happen. So what has to happen is eventually these people will either A, learn to adapt to the new spin cycle, or they'll just sit where they're at and they'll never get past what was. And they'll either just stay a wrestling fan because they're a wrestling fan, or they'll fizzle and fade out because they can't handle what wrestling's becoming. And just like with things going too far, eventually things have to stop and slow down and start back over to where it's this nice, slow, methodical swing and build and that. And then we might get a little bit of a rotation, then maybe one big one. So it's just an evolutionary step in wrestling. And I love it. I love watching it across the board, all sorts of independent wrestling, but there's still really good old school, slow storytelling out there if you go out and you look for it.
Like, I love to see, like, say, like a Dax Harwood versus like a Ray Phoenix match, because Dax is old school wrestling. Phoenix is the new, you know. If you see them wrestle, what is Dax going to do? He's going to work those legs and take out Phoenix's leg, like work him down, psychology in the ring, so Ray cannot jump and bounce and use that fast style. Like when you get like a new style versus an old style, the old style is going to wear him down, you know, get him in a hold, make him work. Where the new style is just going to try to make you tired by doing that fast-paced wrestling. I like when styles clash. I think it's just, you know, I think it's fun psychology when he gets cut.
Cut. Are we getting to my favorite subjects?
No, we're not going to talk about Babel.
Well, here's what we'll do.
I agree on this. Like, everybody kicks out of a DDT. When Jake Roberts hit you with that DDT, you knew it was over.
When Sean hit you with the super kick, it was over.
That's part of that evolution.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jones. What were you going to say?
Go ahead. I'm going to step off for a second. I'm not going to turn off my camera. I just have to go take care of something.
What am I going to do?
You'll be fine. You have two other co-hosts with you.
What are we, top liver?
You see, I'm getting in trouble today, so you take care of this. I'll be back.
Yo, Joey's just mad because he's here with the fucking fat boys.
I mean,
Count you.
I just want to talk about Moose's favorite subject, the hobby.
Fuck the hobby.
So when in particular, I that's what I want to know. What direction are we going in this?
Just anything. It's unfiltered. Whatever you want to talk about, go ahead.
Oh,
I mean, like, I could say this.
Belt.
I mean, I could say this. Like, Ethan, Vinny, and myself, we are the admins of Scammers of the Belt, a page. Anybody can join. But then you also got a bootleg Scammers of the Belt page.
What about that FBI agent?
That's what I was going to say.
What's his name?
Hey, guys, this is Guido.
Yeah, where he does his belt reviews and his, I'm all for somebody trying to make a page and like, but this motherfucking Homer puts like case numbers and like, it's the wildest shit like you ever seen.
You need to send me that.
I'll send you an invite.
Moose, you'll get a kick out of this. So he puts like, people like buyer beware, like he did the one for the Nick Carnival guy, the one that you went and got the belt from, Ethan. So he put a buyer beware on that guy. But like he puts like case numbers, it'll be like 23-01592, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he put one up of Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas still has the XPW heavyweight belt. Rob Black says he wants it back, and Shane says he doesn't have it, but he was using it at a show, so he put him up as a scammer. Like, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it is wild. Like, I thought it was like a spoof page at first, and then I realized, like, once he started going live, I was like, oh my god, it's not. Yes, sir, King J. Sean. I mean, but in the hobby, I mean, it's got its ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
like we're in a big scammer phase right now.
It the hobby though, like that is so.
I actually prefer calling it the internet wrestling community.
No, that's what we're a part of, but we're the belt community.
Well, it's past belt community because you come from a show that is synonymous with the internet wrestling community and the belt hobby drama.
Moose, you'll love this. I saw a former co-host and a buddy of yours.
Oh, he's on another show already.
On another show.
Gianni was on with Super Dave, Justin King, and Ben.
So I'm blocked by that little turd, which is hilarious.
Shocker.
But
I'm gonna speak on this.
1.5 of the Legion of Doom is blocked by somebody.
I'm blocked by. I'll go on some page and I'll be like, there's 17 comments on this thread and I can't see any of them.
That's what's great about scammers, because you could see everybody you're blocked. When you click on them, the profile's empty.
But like, I feel like for me, anyways, like I feel like my reputation precedes me. Like I don't think I'm as bad as like people think I am.
You're worse.
I don't even think so.
Much worse.
I probably am, but you look at like a couple weeks ago, your Padrino.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for being on here, but probably.
Well, but I was genuinely, because I told him this, because everything I say to anybody, I don't care who hears it. Oh, we'll see him on BBC tomorrow. Send me a link, Carmine. I'll show up and tell you too.
Moose is getting a call after.
Moose is getting a call. Pull the cord. No, but we've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Like let's just preface your is he your a host? Would he be your host?
He's the founder.
So he was having a beef with another hobby enthusiast a couple weeks ago.
Oh yes, the perturbed pigeon.
Yes. Yeah, I got no issues with him. I'm blocked by him, but I got no issues with him. I try to help him and Tony out. Getting them, divorce counseling or something, but it didn't go very well. I was actually really upset at Carmine because, like, we've all been in chats where Carmine's like, fucking mobster, fucking hitman, whatever, the whole bit, right? We've all heard every story under the sun, right? Mm-hmm. And then I see Carmine going live where he's just like, I just want to apologize. I'm a better person. And I'm just like, I felt like I was lied
That was
to.
a really good impersonation.
I felt like I was lied to / like let down. Like there were so many mixed emotions where like I was just like, ugh. I've spent hours arguing with this turd, and for him to go on a live over a couple of videos where the guy made some points, I give credit where credit is due. Gary made some fantabulous points. But then to see the folding, like he looked like the Russian KGB on fucking Rounders after the Oreo incident, and it was heartbreaking.
I think it's because of all the chats we've been in with him.
That's what I'm getting. We've had so many chats with Carmine that it's just like that was so anticlimactic.
My issue was like you call somebody a scammer, but you don't show the proof. And then he got called out for it, and then he just like threw in the towel, felt like Rocky IV. Throw in the damn towel. Like just like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if he was saying sorry because Gary was spitting.
It looked like he didn't. This is my opinion. My opinion only, expressed written consent by me only. It looked like he just didn't want the smoke, which was the disheartening thing. Because, I mean, it's Carmine. It's fucking like the Legend of Billie Jean. So that was disheartening for the hobby in the last couple of weeks. Anything else?
Well, with the Gianni thing, it's funny because when he's doing that live video, the show, I turned on because Dustin went live. So I was like, oh, shoot. I don't know. Like, I was going through Facebook. I see he's live. And I see Gianni in the top right corner. I'm watching it for like 3 minutes, and all I hear is, guys, what's your favorite belt in your collection? What autographs do you have? I'm like, all right, I'm done. Because it's the same circle every show he's ever been on. So, guys, what's your favorite belt? Like,
untrue. That's untrue. I missed the Motel 6 stories. But, so, I mean, we can wrapping it up because that was my big disappointment of the hobby of the month, Do you have one, Joey? Do you have your ultimate disappointment of the hobby of the month?
I mean, it's just like
see, but I flipped that with the good deed of the hobby for the month. Got Carnival as a Snoop Dogg belt.
Yeah.
Make sure that happened.
Mine is just the fake scammers page. Like, I just laugh at the FBI thing. Like, he called out a maker, an American maker who makes belts for wrestling promotions, and said, hey, he was scamming. And then he made it, and then people were asking, like, yo, do you have any proof? And he goes on a live video and he goes, well, the people from 15 years ago, if you knew, you knew, you know what's going on. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, like, say the proof. Like
I mean, that's true, but is what it is. What are you going to do,
I think my good is just people getting their belts and enjoying it,
So, what did I miss?
Apparently I'm going to get scolded by my Padrino.
No, just send him a message. When he messages me, just forward it to me. I'll come on the BBC. We can hash it out. I'll have him apologizing to me.
Fine.
They get scolded, man.
Wait.
Bite your fingers, Moose.
Time out. Why are you getting scolded for being on our show?
No, I'm joking.
I brought up my hobby disappointment of the month. And I had just said that I thought, after all the history that me and Carmine have and we have with Carmine, that I was really surprised that he folded like a wet noodle to Gary. Just like, clean it off.
Bad.
Yeah. So,
But it is Thursday. We're an hour, 20 minutes already. We apologize. Show's been all over the place, but it's been one of those weeks.
I just think a segment about the hobby every week could be good for some people. It's like, Jerry Springer just passed, so it's nice to get that out.
Yeah,
there.
79 years old. Pink. God, I can't see words. Pancreatic cancer.
That's a quick killer.
Isn't that what Alex Trebek had?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's what my dad has. My dad has some shit where it's in his liver, and his lymph nodes, and his neck, and it's spread. Yeah, I don't think it's pancreatic, but they only gave him like 6 weeks or something. So we'll see how that plays out.
Sheesh.
It's because we call it the hobby.
So
Very Eddie-esque.
that's it. Oh, I've seen him play more active lately. You got to bring up that name.
Where's the damn credits? Time to see you guys next week. Well,
PBC's going back to 9-6.
I don't know if I'll be back next week because I'm probably fired forever now at this point.
Tune in tomorrow to the 963 podcast. What time are they on? Anywhere between 5 and 6, or 8 and 9 o'clock p.m.
It's been a fun run, y'all. I love y'all. I'll miss y'all because I'm pretty sure I'm going.
I just showed up because I was testing the new microphone. I'm sorry.
Moose farted. That's why he's here.
As far as I'm concerned, you're welcome back, but I may not have a concern to welcome.
You might have to be our black guy next week.